Hello team, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to take you through how to record a scheduled payment. This is a scenario whereby you receive an invoice, for example, let's say for $100, but you want to pay them in bits, not the whole of it. So I will navigate to the invoices, that is the invoice workbench, invoices, entry, invoices. And the invoice workbench will open. We will work with a vendor by the name Nairobi vendor. So here we provide this is the header of the invoice. We provide the vendor details and the invoice details. The vendor details we select, but the invoice details we provide through keying in. Then invoice date we'll use on 1st of June 2023. I'll give you the reason why we are using that. Then the invoice number we can use Nairobi 3. Then we go to invoice amount. We'll use the invoice currency, we'll use USD. We're paying 100 USD. Then we scroll on your right. When it comes to payment terms, here we provide immediate or immediate. That is the header level of the invoice. We come to lines. We provide the amount, which is 100 USD. Come to distribution. The distribution, you provide the amount, which is 100 USD, and the distribution code or combination. Distribution code. One I've copied somewhere for ease of processing. Instead of selecting, then you save. You can save by clicking the save icon here up on your far left, top left, or you can Control S. Then close that window. For that, our invoice is yet to be validated. It has never been validated. You can see the status here, and also it's not counted. And also for approval, there is no requirement for approval that is needed. So come here to actions. You just validate and click OK. Select validate and click OK. You can see now the status of our invoice has changed to validated. Once it has validated, come to scheduled payments. In a situation whereby you need to approve the invoice, you will come here under action, and either you initiate, if there is approval workflow, you will initiate approval so that the invoice can flow to the next person who is supposed to approve. Or if there is, for the test purpose, if there is no need for approval workflow, we'll just come here and click or select force approval and click OK. But for this purpose, this functionality has not been enabled, so we don't need it. We can be able to process our invoice without approval because it's not required. So we go direct to scheduled payment. This is an error. You click OK. Then under scheduled payment, you can be able to see that we have our invoice amount and the date of our invoice, which is 1st of June. The same case with here up. So this date of our invoice, we want to work with it so that we can be able to pay our invoice in some different dates. So the whole of this amount is 100 USD, but we will not pay it once. So for example, we want to pay maybe 40 USD on 10th of June 2023. We want to pay 40 USD. Okay. Then we come and schedule another payment of the second amount to be on 15th of June 2023. We pay, for example, 35 USD. So you can see here down, the system is calculating the balance so that you can be able to see the gross amount or the total. Then the other balance, which is 25 USD, we can pay it on 20th June 2023. So what you need here is the balance, which is 25 USD. So you can see now the total gross amount has balance with the invoice amount. So once that is done, you can save. Once you have saved, you can see now the pay icon of the invoice. Now it's active. Initially it was not active, but now it's active. So you can come here and let's say start with the first. Sorry for this, apologies for that error, but it will not interfere with our process. Now you can come here and do the payment for the first scheduled payment, which is 40 USD. So come here and say pay. The system will caution you, you're about to pay one scheduled payment. Say okay. This is the payment workbench. So here we'll provide the mandatory fields, but by default we have a bank already here and date of payment. Date of payment here we can change to be 10th of June 2023. We will not change bank account. Payment method is electronic. We have the payment process file, which we can select city something. Let's work with this. There's no any other mandatory field, and we save. Once we save, our invoice scheduled payment has been paid. You can see we have the amount of the invoice amount, and we have the payment amount. So once that one is paid, we can close that, come to our invoice. Before we had paid the invoice is showing that the amount paid here it's 0. But I want us to query this invoice again. That is invoice number NRB3, and we see whether we'll see 0 or we'll see the amount that we have paid here. So we come here to the search engine or query engine. Invoice number is NRB3, and click find. So you see our invoice is showing that it is of amount of 100 USD, but the amount paid is 40 USD. So if you come here under scheduled payments, you can be able to see that the first payment of 10th June, which is 40 USD, it's grayed out. So there's no way you can change it. It is grayed out. So even payment, you can't pay it. You can't pay it again. Okay. An invoice or scheduled payment you selected for full payment cannot be paid because it is already fully paid. Okay. So the only one that you can proceed to pay again is the second one. Apologies for this error. So if you select the second scheduled payment, that one you can proceed and pay. And the same case applies to the third one. So that's how we pay, or you can distribute your invoice into different days through scheduled payment. Thank you for watching.